live and in color. This is Kevin Thorn, and you're listening to Wolfie D.
Hey, this is Jimmy Street, host of the Live and in Color with Wolfie D podcast. Hear the life and times of professional wrestler Wolfie D. From his time in the territories with PG-13 to his time in WWE, ECW, WCW, TNA, and more. Nothing is off limits and nothing will be held back. Thanks again for tuning in. Here he is, Wolfie D.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome one more time to the Live and in Color with Wolfie D podcast. Today we have an awesome guest. He's the one and only Kevin Thorn.
Yes, sir. This is one of my big friends, man. Not only in stature, but what I think about him, man. He's a good guy, and I've known him since he was a toothpaste head, is what I used to call him. Kevin, how are you? How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, but I really figured when I heard you said you wanted to introduce me that way, I mean I figured I was going to get like the rap introduction, like.
Okay. Well, I
always knew Jamie was the whole reason PG-13 did so well, but whatever.
I'll give him anything that he wants to try. I can do whatever you want.
I'm totally kidding. Oh, shit.
Man, how are you, man? You doing all right today?
I'm doing well, man. This is probably going to be the most candid interview ever because we've talked so many times and everything else. I don't think there'll be anything like hidden here. It'll just be like we're just talking like friends, and you know, everybody listening out there is going to be like, "Oh shit, I can't believe they said that." But we really don't know kayfabe just because we just talk the way we talk.
Yeah, we do, man. We do. Here's what I want to get through to the people, man, when we talk on this, man. First of all, how you got in the wrestling business, man. When I first met you, you know, I said that toothpaste head thing. That was Sid Vicious trained you, and that's what I knew of you when you first got in the business, man. And you had long hair, and you told me that the reason you made it stick out, and it reminded me of this video game that I used to play. It's Tricky to Rock Around. This video game with the snowboarding or whatever, with this guy that had hair sticking out. And you said to me, I said, how do you make your hair stick out like that? You said, I put toothpaste in it. So then I started calling you
AIM toothpaste. This is the greatest gel known to man.
Wow.
And literally I would take and twist it, and then I just made it minty fresh. And I remember like you and Brandon Baxter and a couple of other people making fun of me, but it was hilarious because it was like, well, I mean, I don't have a whole lot of money, 99 cents AIM toothpaste. You put it in your hair.
Who told you to do that, though? Where did you get that idea? Because,
like you said, the guy, I forget what snowboarding guy, but that's what he said he did. And I just went with it and literally started smearing my hair and doing all kind of different stuff with it, and it stuck. And it didn't, you know, come undone. And I was like, well, this works out perfect. You know?
I mean, that's amazing.
Hey, tell me about this, man. Tell me about, so Sid Vicious trained you. How did that go? How did you get in the business?
So, there was a Gold's Gym there off of Poplar Avenue in Memphis, Tennessee, and that's where Sid was training at the time. Well, so I was working there, but you know, get ready to walk on University of Memphis to play football. But I was working there in the mornings. Well,
so, hold on, you were walking on to play for Memphis?
Well, I mean, I was going to try. I mean, that's part of being a walk-on.
Okay.
Yeah. Didn't have a scholarship, but I was at least decent enough to probably, you know, try. But but literally during the summer, I was working at the Gold's Gym, and Sid was coming in there to work out, but Sid was just off the neck injury from flipping the car or whatever the fuck it was. Broke his neck, and he's coming in there and everything else, and his two workout partners kept missing, but I was the morning manager, and I kept having to, like spot him and everything else. So I was like, all right, hey, let's just start working out.
Right.
So we started working out, and I was always a fan of wrestling. Was I in love with it? No, not 100%, but I was always a fan. And we just, kept working out and everything else. And that's where, he was like, well, I have a show coming up here soon up in Knoxville for Men on the Mission Mo and all this other stuff. He's like, I just want to get in and just test some stuff, or test my neck out, test this out. So we went to Buddy Wayne's backyard. And so, see, you already know.
Buddy Wayne was a fan of PG-13.
Oh, yeah. So Buddy Wayne's backyard rolled out the carpet, the shag carpet, that was the flooring, basically, for this ring.
What town was it? Do you know what town it was? What town this was? Where
like Covington or Millington.
Yeah,
I mean, it was Buddy Wayne's house.
Okay,
it's where it was at.
Yeah.
So we went to. I mean, it was basically Buddy Wayne's backyard. He still had the ring back there. So the ring was set up with the not 2x4s, but basically like 2x1s, 4x1s, whatever fuck the.
Right.
Some of the ring was made, and then you rolled out the carpet on top of it, which was, I mean, basically looked like shag carpeting straight from Buddy Wayne's house.
You had hose pipes for ropes.
Oh yeah. But then when we rolled out the mat, like there was like dead rat, dead chipmunk, dead this, dead that, and Aubrey's up in the ring just kicking them out like it's no big deal. And
Aubrey Wayne.
So, oh yeah, Aubrey Wayne, baby. But I mean, the biggest thing is I'm a ECS graduate. I'm a private school fucking prep, and literally, I'm witnessing rats being kicked out, chipmunks being kicked out, and Aubrey Wayne, who looks like a product of pedophilism 101, coming around. But it's bouncing off the ring ropes and everything else, and it's radiator hoses and a little bit of duct taped corner. And I'm like, I guess. And literally, Sid gets in there for 2 seconds. He locks up with me, puts me in a headlock and shoots me off and makes me take a tackle. And I went, all right. And then next thing I know, he's out sitting next to Buddy Wayne, and Aubrey's doing it all. And I'm having to learn off of Aubrey, who, I mean, granted, other than the fact that Aubrey's BO was so bad I couldn't fucking breathe. I mean, literally, I was learning. And Aubrey, oh my God, I mean, to this day, Aubrey Wayne, I mean, should have been out. He knew. He was doing 619 before I ever seen 619. I mean, he would do stuff, running the ropes, climbing, flipping over the top. I mean, he was just so good. Sid and Buddy want to teach me is lock up, headlock, take over, tackle, get it again.
I totally get it. Totally.
Yeah. So I mean, that's what it was. So I mean, long story short, got through that, and then went to Knoxville, wrestled. Kane was there, Austin was there, a couple other people.
Was that before you came to Memphis?
It was right at the same time that back and forth was going that done.
About that, what I was going to say about that is, I mean, I've seen that a number of times where somebody like Sid grabs you up, and I mean, let's be honest, he's done a lot of great shit in the business.
Dude, I was on the rocket ship because of him, and that's it.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying, man. Somebody like him can catapult you, but you never got that, training thing or whatever. So
well, that's what you were there for. I mean, we'll get to that in a minute in this program. Where where you used to have to look at me and go, God, you suck. Never mind. Just let me take it from here. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, you would literally end up doing all the match. I would tag in to like stiff the shit out of whoever I was kicking the crap out of, and then tag me back. Tag yourself back in, and then take the comeback. I mean, let's be honest.
But that, yes, I appreciate you even saying that, because I mean that has happened so many times. Whatever, where people,
it happened about 80.
Like, you don't get the credit they deserve or whatever, but I knew that about you. I was like, okay, this is Sid's guy, and okay, he's Sid's guy, and that's what you do with that. You're like, okay, this is Sid's guy. All right, he's my partner now, and he doesn't really know what to do. So
I have no clue. I was a 260-pound kid that had muscles, and that's all I had. I had no clue. And everything else, and I mean, I can't tell you how many times you like guided me through it. Like, you just like, fuck it, I'll do it. Like, like you'd come tag me when I need to get in, and then you'd just somehow tag me back out. Just get out, out. And then you would do it again and everything else.
That totally sounds like me, because I'd be in the ring and I'd be like, fuck, man, just fucking get me back.
Oh, yeah. The only other person that cussed me out as bad as you do was Billy Gunn. I mean, when I, towards like, and, I felt like I was much better along because of you, but then there were times I was wrestling with Billy along, previous years before, going forward, and Billy would cuss me out, and I'm like, God damn, you sound just like fucking Wolfie. Fuck. Like, just get the fuck out. Like, you just laugh. I mean, it was just like, all right, well,
Those are the times, man. We've talked about so much stuff on this show, man, and I just, for right this second, I just want to say, Jimmy, thank you for making this happen, because he has brought this show to something that he's like, well, you got stories to tell, and he's got, hey, will you do this? And I'm like, okay, whatever, but. There's shit like that. It's you. It's other people that we talked about on here. Just little bullshit, man. We just talked to Savio a few minutes ago, man. But God, I remember you from so much good times, and you were a Sid trainee, and I do remember that, man. I remember getting mad at you, but then you turned out to fucking, they brought you in WWE, and you had that, whole run with the vampire thing, and then you had the white-haired thing, which honestly, I'm a huge fan of, over-the-top gimmicks, always have been.
Hey, it's Kaylee Cuoco for Priceline. Ready to go to your happy place for a happy price? Well, why didn't you say so? Just download the Priceline app right now and save up to 60% on hotels. So whether it's Cousin Kevin's Kazoo Concert in Kansas City, go Kevin, or Becky's Bachelorette Bash in Bermuda, you never have to miss a trip ever again. So download the Priceline app today. Your savings are waiting.
Go to your happy place for a happy price. Go to your happy price, Priceline.
Hey folks, to get your official Live and in Color with Wolfie D merchandise, go to ProWrestlingTees.com/Live Wolfie D. Check it out.
If you're listening to Live and in Color with Wolfie D on Apple Podcast and like what you're hearing, go ahead and leave a 5-star rating. And while you're at it, write a review. Tell us what you liked. Tell us what you'd like to hear in the future. It's very important to us and always appreciated. Thanks again.
I don't understand why the white-haired thing that you had, what was that, Mordecai? Why did that not get over, man? Was it you? Was it them? What happened?
Well, it was me, because I I played typical Memphis, got to fight in a bar and got in a bunch of trouble right before it went out.
I did. You know what? I heard something about. What was that? I mean, if you want to talk about it, you can.
Stupidity. Just stupidity. I mean, it was what it was in Louisville, Kentucky, and ended up getting a fight in the bar right before it started, and it just, there you go. I mean, literally, I was on tap to be, next in line to, wrestle Undertaker at WrestleMania, and I decided to be a dumbass and get in a fight in the bar. And
was that the plan, though? I mean, you were scheduled Undertaker?
100%. Yeah, 100%.
Okay, but
yeah, you were built as the anti-Undertaker, right? You were
I was built as the anti-Undertaker, and literally going straight towards it.
Here's the thing, man. I don't really know what year that was or whatever, but back in the day, okay, you win a bar fight, that escalates you. If you lost a bar fight back in the day,
no, not in Vince's eyes anymore, because they were trying to sue and do all kind of shit and everything else. Yeah, no, it was.
Oh man,
it was a losing battle.
Yeah, well, hey, I just want to hear it, man. For me personally, describe the bar fight for me, if you would. I want to hear it.
I mean, really, it was nothing to it. I mean, it was me, Maven, and Sly Grenier, who was Rob Conway's partner at the time, the Frenchies, and we had just gotten back from Austin, Indiana, I think, or something. We had all still had to wrestle there because we were like still developmental, but not developmental, and all the bullshit. And it was Bar Louisville. We were at Blue Martini first, and then we ended up at Bar Louisville. And I'm sitting off to the side. I just had all my hair dyed white, like I'm still wearing white. I look like a great big Colonel Sanders mark. And my girlfriend at the time, who's now my wife, who's been and actually our anniversary was Friday, so 16 years together.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
Also, literally, I'm leaning against the bar. I'm trying not to cause any trouble, and this kid keeps coming through, and Sly and Maven were fucking ladies, man. I mean, good God, every fucking girl in that club wanted them. Yeah. And these, a couple of these guys were just, you could just tell they did not like it.
Right.
And stuff. And I told my wife, I said, they're gonna end up causing us problems here in a minute. I said, I've got too much to lose. Like, literally, I just filmed my vignettes. I've done all my stuff. I'm like, I'm going to the bathroom. When I come back, we're leaving. Like, I got to piss. That's,
right.
Why I didn't piss outside, don't know. Everything's always, you always look back going, God damn, it would have been so much easier. But long story short, get back, and she's almost in tears, and I'm like, okay, Katie, what just happened? And she's like, well, he called me a cunt, told me to fuck off, shoved my face. So I went, okay. And then I looked down, and he had, he kind of had his bottle next to him, wanted to hit us. And I went, like, I just didn't have any time to react. And, big toothpaste head has big kickball head, let's be honest. And big kickball head had little skinny kid's head with his head. Yeah. And literally just blew up his nose, bust his whole, I got a big fat head. But it was either that or get hit in the face with a bottle.
Yeah.
And his buddies that were coming towards us like they were about to fight us went, fuck you, we're done. Like, don't please. And I mean, I'm all in white and, look like a fucking bloody tampon at this point. And I'm like, I look at Katie, I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like, what do we do? She goes, just go outside. Cause there were these two police officers that were always outside of, Bar Louisville. So we walked out to them, and we've helped them, a bunch of the OVW guys have helped them several times in different fight situations and everything else. So I walk out there and I basically look at them. I'm like, look, this is what just happened. I didn't egg this on. I didn't do this.
Right.
You know, all this stuff. And they went, just go home. And I went, are you sure? And they went, yep, nope, go home. And Maven and Sly were like, all right, let's go. I literally, you know, because I had sunglasses on my head. Why I had sunglasses on my head being nighttime, they dug into my fucking head, and I was bleeding. I mean, I was crimson mask and everything else. They cleaned me up. Cops were cool. Just go. We're gonna go in there, deal with this shit, go home. And then, you know, I think we were in Houston that weekend or something. We all flew out the next day.
Right.
And then Monday I get from Johnny, he's like, yeah, you're getting sued. And, you know, you have a arrest warrant out for you. You need to go back. And I went, okay, all right, here we go. So I went back and.
So that fucked the whole WrestleMania thing.
Yep. Well, I had to go to Vince. I had to go to Vince and basically went to Vince and said, look, what do I got to do? And Vince goes, well, we're going to pay them.
Vince said what?
We're going to pay them to go away, basically. You know, Vince was like, we're going to offer them $50,000 to go away. And I went, okay, well, and then I'm like, well, how do I pay that? He goes, don't worry, you're going to make enough money that you'll be able to pay that back, you know, within a month. And I went, okay, like, yeah, you just don't know at that time, and you don't want to say yes or no. So literally, they offer that, and then as soon as that happens, the lawyers for the other kid basically are like, no, we want $500,000 now. And,
oh my God!
And all this stuff, and it just kept going and going, and then that's where they WWE was like, we just didn't have it. No, it's not because I didn't have it. It's because I was getting fucking sued, and they were tired of all the fucking lawsuit bullshit, so they figured if they fired me, they'd be done with it. And so that's basically what they did. They fired me. We got the lawsuit done, and then fucking 2 months later, I come back as Kevin Thorn. Amazing how that happened.
Yeah, seriously.
So where did the money go? I mean,
they took it out of the 2 fucking pay-per-views I did, and then all the rest of the stuff. I mean, fuck. I mean, all my lawyer bills were miraculously fucking paid. I didn't get a fucking check. I got fucking, your lawyer has been paid. Well, great. That's fucking fantastic.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome. I mean, if you think about it, shit.
Yeah, and then you get Bruce Pritchard, you know, on some of his podcasts going, oh, he just didn't have it. He walked down like the old Undertaker and he did all this other shit. No, fuckface. I fucking had a big-ass lawsuit against me and you fucking cowards fucking decided to do what you did.
Yeah.
So, suck a dick.
Anyway. Yeah, he's been fired. He's been fired so many times. I'm surprised he takes up for them so much. You know what I mean? Like Bruce has been.
Well, you know, I mean, you keep getting hired and back, and you run a shitty program and still can make money. Then what know? Yeah, whatever. I mean,
right.
I'll tell you on him, man. I mean, we've me and Jimmy have talked about this, but I'll say this to you, man. When me and Jamie went up the first time in 95, we shut the cameras down because that was the first time that, man, back in those days you didn't have, and I've talked about this and I'll talk about it again, that was the first time that you had a teleprompter in front of you. And they wanted to write a script for your interview or whatever. And me and Jamie were wrestling the Smoking Guns. We were wrestling 2 job guys we were going over on. And I couldn't do it, man. I could not sit there and look at a teleprompter, right? And so me and Jamie both told them, I may have told you this because, Kevin, me and you are friends, man. I may have told you this. I could not look at that, read it, and go, this is me. Someone else wrote this, and I was used to being something else. And so me and Jamie told them, turn that shit off, and they did. I said, tell me what you want us to say. And we did. And we hit it. Both 2 interviews, we hit it. They clapped. It was weird. But that was what they used to do back then, man. They used to, try to make something out of something you weren't, man. And I never understood that.
Yeah, I mean, the business has always been the best when, you and Jamie got to go do what you did. Arn Anderson used to go out there and just talk. Same with freaking, Lawler. I mean, goddamn, how many times? I mean, Lawler just go out there and fucking talk. I mean, nobody gave him, what to say. You just basically,
bullet points.
Yeah,
hey, this is what I want you to
But you already knew because you were in a program with somebody, so you talked about the program,
right.
And everything else. And, I think the thing that ruins wrestling nowadays is nobody knows what they're doing because, week to week it changes 19 times. So unless you're a top guy, you don't know what your program is. You don't know what really to do and everything else. I mean, there's just there's some
that somebody is drawing for. I just don't believe that works.
Yeah, and I mean, there's nobody that's a draw. I mean, let's be honest anymore. I mean, in your prime with Jerry Dundee, PG-13, all that stuff. I mean, when you guys were actually going to the Coliseum, and I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I was at the Coliseum, 7th and 8th grade, everything else, cheering on. But I mean, the Coliseum was packed. It was a draw. It was a draw week in and week out because, you actually came to see the babyface, fight, and the heel get the shit kicked out of them. So as long as you had those two dynamics, it always packed out because that's what you wanted to see.
Right. I mean, you got to have the thing that always brought it to me was you got to have a dragon, and then you got to have a dragon slayer.
Yep.
And
exactly.
Me, like right now, we don't have that.
Let's take a quick time out and get a word from one of my dope-ass sponsors, and we'll be right back with more Live and in Color with Wolfie D.
Getting engaged is a moment worth cherishing. A one-of-a-kind ring that you design at Blue Nile can help your love sparkle. Just choose your diamond and setting. When you've found the one, you'll get it delivered right to your door. Finding the right engagement ring can be nerve-wracking. At Blue Nile, you'll have the expert guidance needed and a diamond guarantee that ensures you're getting the highest quality at the best price. Cherish all of life's moments and save up to 30% at BlueNile.com. That's BlueNile.com.
This is Steve Bowtie Bryant here. Back in the 90s, I was a pro wrestling photographer for the South. And I released what might have been one of the original sets of indie trading cards. I ran across some of these original sets. They were up in Randall Fanning's attic all this time. PG-13 rookie card, Ricky Morton, George Weingroff as the Sheep, Chris Champion, Reno Riggins, Billy Montana, Gary Valiant, the Scorpion, the Medic, Rick Reynolds, Jeff Daniels, Mephisto and Dante, Ben Jordan, Steve Neely, Marcus Woodrow, Clinton Charisma, Little Farmer John. If you'd like an opportunity to get these cards, contact me now. You can get them for only $49.99. Contact me at stevebowtiebryant at iCloud.com. Get your set now while supplies last.
Hey folks, this is Wolfie D here, and if you are looking to buy or sell a home in Tennessee or Southern Kentucky, you're going to want to call my buddy, the rock star realtor, Benji Bowie. And you say, Wolfie, how do I get in touch with this rock star? Well, you can call him directly at 615-390-8216. You can go to his website, bowiehomes.com. That's B-U-I-E homes.com. Or you can email him at benbowie34@gmail.com. When you need a home, you need the Rockstar Realtor.
Benji is a member of Exit Realty's Garden Gate team in Gallatin, Tennessee.
I'll tell you, the biggest thing in the business to me, I feel like UFC has fucked the business up, because I think we got so many guys that are in the business that are marks for UFC, and that's fine, man. Those guys are, yeah, man, I don't want to do it. But I think that they're, I can't sell this kick because, if you get that kick, you don't go down, or blah, blah, blah. If I want to watch UFC, I'm going to watch UFC. But if I want to watch professional wrestling with a guy dance around like Macho Man Randy Savage or Hulk Hogan or somebody else, just dance around, give me a show and do cool things, I'm going to watch that. And I feel that once UFC came into life in the 90s or whatever, I feel like it kind of fucked up wrestling. The internet did too, but I feel like this kind of fucked up wrestling.
A little bit. I mean, yeah, yes and no. I mean, I think if you look at the age of wrestling, it goes, right towards the tail end of like the ECW and all that stuff that was, really taking off. Is you literally had the kids that had grown up on, Hulkamania and all, Lawler, PG-13, Jamie Dundee, like all that stuff, they were finally at that age where it had to go a little bit further in the extreme, and then right at that time, ECW was starting to happen, everything else, and then, basically at that same time, UFC happened. So now they were actually seeing real punches, and they were seeing real kicks and real this and all that other stuff, and they didn't know what to do anymore. It was like, so, but the problem is we were so extreme and so, as WWE called it, raw, raw with it and everything else. You had, Stacey Carter, cat showing her boobs, you had, who else?
I know what you mean.
You know what I'm saying? It was so just like sexual and everything else. That here's the problem as a dad now, I couldn't show my kids
this, and you might be a little, I don't know if you're, well, I do know you're younger than me, but like an angle that I cannot forget, man, is in Memphis when they had an angle where Rick Rude, and I think it's Jerry Lawler, where they kept having videotapes of him beating up his girlfriend, and they were sending these videos of the girl in the hotel room with the black eye, blah blah blah. You can't do stuff like that no more.
No.
Can't, because everybody will know that it's not real. You know what I mean?
Well, it's like when Lawler got hit by the car by Gilbert.
Yeah,
and people were lined up outside the Methodist Hospital trying to find out, if Lawler's okay and everything else.
Right.
I mean, in this day and age, you can't do it that way.
No. Nope.
But I mean, there's still some suspense that can be done. I guess. I don't know.
I don't think there is no more. I don't. And
well, the biggest problem is we, anymore is, with any of these companies, WWE, AEW, and everything else, is nobody really kayfabes, and they don't really have to, I guess, anymore, because, they're trying to build their social media up and their Instagram and their Twitter and all this other shit. But, 2 seconds later, everybody's hugging the fucking locker room and everybody's taking a picture of it and showing it. I mean, back in the day with you guys and everything else, is nobody ever saw that. I mean, you see you guys bloody and beaten and, Kid Wicked.
If you got saw out with a guy you were working in a bar,
you'd be dead. I mean, that was a funny part about, up in Louisville for the longest time. And I mean, of Cornette and I had our issues and everything else, but goddamn, I mean, the one thing he did is he protected the business with his life, and I give it to him. I mean, you know, and that's, you know, that's the storytelling that was there because that's the story you wanted to tell. And, you know, now these guys don't get to, you know, they get yelled at all the time and cussed out because, oh, you guys were at the club together, you know, and you sit there and go, this is so dumb. And then you really look back at it and you go, you know what? He's probably right. I mean, you know, here it is. We're on TV. We're trying to portray all this stuff. And then we're, you know, hanging out with the same girls at the club and hanging out. And we're supposed to be in a fight.
And we Twitter each other. And,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and we're taking Instagram pictures and blah, blah, blah. You know, now I totally get it. You know, at the time I'm like, yeah, that's so stupid because you're trying to be a rebel and be like, oh, business has changed. But really and truly, it's never really been broke. You know, the mold's the mold. I mean, good guy, bad guy. Don't let anybody know that you're really best friends.
That's the thing. I mean, you don't. You know? I hated those episodes of where they had the magician show how they did the magic trick.
Oh yeah, yeah. It totally ruins it. Why? Just why?
Parts for magic. I don't want to know how they did that.
Yeah,
let me believe he's fucking magic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and we've made ourselves too smart now. You know, where really we should just sit there and just be like, you know what, this is the coolest thing ever. But we all want to know how the fuck he pulled the fucking rabbit out of the fucking hat. Yeah. Instead of just going, he pulled the rabbit out of the hat. I mean, and that's what ruins it.
I told people, hey man, when they find out I'm a wrestler, they're like, yeah, I know what you guys are doing is, you know, fake, and I hate that word, but I know what you guys are doing is fake. But there was this one time, me and my grandma, or me and my grandpa, or me and my dad were at this show, and I'm telling you, so-and-so and so-and-so were mad at each other. It was the real deal. And that's when I'm like, yeah, that's back when we didn't tell you we were fucking all. And now it's because they straight up say everything, and you know, on the internet you can get the finish before the match even happens now. Oh. And that sucks.
We're dinosaurs, dude. and I shouldn't even been a dinosaur. To be honest, I'm not even as old as you. Wait, hold on.
Wait a minute.
Yeah,
Wait a minute.
I'm the last. I'm the last of the dinosaurs. Like, you know, I mean, you really think about it. Like, I got in the tail end of all you guys, and you know, I got.
Where to go? Well, I think you're 50. I think you are. You're 50.
I'm 45. You fuck.
Oh.
So. What are you? You're only 46. You're only 46.
I'll be 48 next year, but I got in the business when I was 15.
Jesus Christ, you're old.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So, you know, speaking of old times, I don't want to say anybody's old here, but, you know,
that's it, like Jimmy, you're fucking fired. We're not even talking to you anymore. Just off of that note right
there. Okay, so, all right, we'll pretend I didn't say it. I can edit that out, Kevin. I can edit that out.
I'm totally
not out of your...
Just go with it.
Yeah. So Mordecai was built to be the anti-Undertaker, and so obviously that meant that you were on the way to be one of the angles with the Undertaker. What I remember, if I'm not mistaken, is later on you were also going that path. You were being built for Undertaker again. Am I right about that?
Yeah, no. Yeah, second time should have been the charm, but once again, who the fuck knows? Yeah, on that one, I still don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I had great relationships with Taker, everything else, and both of us were like, Dusty was around. So Dusty was writing a lot of ECW TV then, and Dusty was like, Vince wants you to not wear black anymore, or wear black, not red ties. He wants you to take all that red shit out of your fucking hair. There's a lot of stuff I was doing so it wouldn't look like Taker. I mean, I was still a lot of stuff, similarities, but I was trying to like put more color in my shit and do different stuff. But I mean, I was being told, you know, hey, this is where we're going, this is what we're doing, and all this stuff. And then all of a sudden it was like, well, now you're just being a goddamn fucking duplicate. I'm like, well, that's because you fucking assholes told me to. Like, like where are we going with this again? Like, it was like literally like, I've already been here. Like, why are we again blowing up on this? And then literally that's where they were like, you got to cut your hair. So I'm on a European tour. Literally, we left for Detroit the last time that literally Kevin Thorn was seen, and we flew to Europe for 14 days, something like that. And they basically were like, yeah, you need to get your hair cut while you're over here. I'm like, okay. So I got my hair cut, all this other stuff, and then I get from Vince, why the fuck you cut your fucking hair? And I went, 'cause you told me to. And then it just kept going back and forth. And finally, I'm like, I don't know what's going on. You guys just tell me anymore. Like, you know, and then they're like, well, you need to do this. And so one of the last times I came out on ECW, I was just like in red trunks, black boots, and knee pads. Right. And I was like, I'm just going to go out as granola as I can, and then you guys tell me what I'm doing wrong. And then all of a sudden it was, well, you're not wrestling the way you used to. I'm going, I haven't stopped wrestling the way that I've ever not wrestled. I mean, I go out there and potato the fuck out of everybody. Ask Wolfie. You know, and literally, I just never, like, it wasn't anything different.
I used to have guys,
and they were like,
I used to have guys tag me in and go, please get me away from him.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Everybody did that. And that's probably why he kept tagging me out. It's because they were scared of me. But it was just like, what the fuck just happened? Like, I'm not doing anything different. You guys told me this, so I just went out here just like this. And then that's kind of where, towards the end, it was like, all right, well, I guess I'm getting fired. Fuck it. I mean, it is what it is. I just didn't understand.
You know,
you're on top for as long as you can be on top, as long as Vince loves you, supposedly. Right. But then all of a sudden, somebody gets in Vince's head, and then all of a sudden it's like, I don't understand why he's doing that.
Yeah, it's the entertainment, man. It's a right time, right place bullshit kind of thing. But we've all seen the most talented, technical wrestlers that don't get over, don't get pushed, or this guy that can do this or whatever. You had, in my opinion, you had the shit, man. But it's whatever, and it's you know,
it was part of it. I mean, you know, been there, done that.
Here's my thing. Today, at this time, you are making $300,000 in half a year, and
actually
that's why.
Actually four.
But I said, Jimmy, I want to get him on here. I told Jimmy, I said, this is why I want to get him on here, is to talk about what the wrestling business can be to you or what it cannot be to you. Dude, you're living your best life right now.
To me though, you take it and what I did is, I mean, I figured out, you know, through all the great promoters and all the great stuff is all right, so how do you take this and make this a real, take it and put it in the real world. And granted, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I stole a lot of shit from you and the car business stuff. I mean, I've already told you this 1,000 times.
Yeah, we talked about it, but you're making more.
I totally stole it from you. But it was like, hey, I'm doing the house stuff, and I was like, all right, so Cena was always saying, the champ is here. Well, fucking the champ's home. And kind of used that as my moniker and just went with it. And, the champ is home, because if you're selling houses, I mean, everybody wants to believe, once you get in the house, it's kind of like your own, like, Mid-South Coliseum. If we're talking about, down in Memphis, we're talking about the Wrestle World, Madison Square Garden, where, I mean, you can run around your house in your underwear, which are technically your tights, and start dropping elbows on all your kids and, everything else, and having the best time of your life. And that's kind of, how I used to explain houses is, I mean, once you get it, it's yours. I mean, it's your Taj Mahal, everything else. You're the champ. And I mean, the best way I could relate that is, wrestling. So,
and you've done a superior, great job at it. And thank you for stealing my gimmick.
Well, you're doing a pretty good job. I'm not gonna lie. I did better, but I straight stole it from you. So like,
no, you've done much better than I have, man.
No, I'm just having fun and everything else, just like you are. I mean, So.
No, I appreciate you. You know that. Me and you have talked on the side and things like that, and you've always been.
You've threatened to kick my ass a couple times for stealing your gimmick. Don't lie. But it is, no, I'm just totally kidding.
We have a little section called Current Affairs that we do, where we involve wrestlers who, like yourself, probably do not even care about the current product. So with that being said, DJ, hit the music.
It's a current affair. It's a current affair. Love it in color. It's a current affair. Love it in color.
All right, we're back with Current Affairs with Kevin Thorn. Kevin, I have a simple question. It's really simple. Basically, you are one of what I consider the purveyor of the dark arts. You played all these great characters that essentially, had a dark element to them. One of the characters recently that I see that has been mishandled horribly is the Fiend, Bray Wyatt. Do you have any insight on him? What are your thoughts on Bray Wyatt?
He should have brought in Slash.
Yeah.
He should have brought in Slash to be a cohort, and then like his wolf that would have protected him and everything else.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you now, instead of the Lambs or the Raven or whatever the fuck, he would have brought in Slash. I think he would have been fine.
Dude, I think that's perfect. I think we can't say it better than that. So thank you so much for coming on, Kevin. Thank you for, making time for us. We definitely appreciate when we hear from Wolfie's old, and in your case, young friends. You ever want to come back, please do.
All 3 years younger, but definitely younger.
Yeah. Not much younger, you motherfucker. You're not much younger. Love you, Kevin. Thank you, man.
All right, love you too, dude.
And now a word from our sponsor.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Give Me Back My Pro Wrestling, the podcast that's based on the old school but can still help you find the good stuff from today. Jimmy Street and the Plastic Chic, Jared, are the undisputed tag team champions of the wrestling podcast world. From thought-provoking topics to superstar interviews to action figure expertise. This team does it all. And all they ask is, give me back my pro wrestling. every other Thursday, wherever you listen to podcasts.
That's right, it's the talk of Middle Tennessee, the channel you love to hate and the channel you hate to love. It's Brian Turner from Brian Turner's VHS Rehab. And if you're looking for matches from Wolfie D to Jerry Lawler to Dusty Rhodes and the team that put a pimp before your eyes and a goatee between your thighs, Booty Call and Athena, go to lostwrestling.com. See, I made it easy for you. Brian Turner's VHS Rehab. Booyah.
Join me, Gene Jackson, for the Jackson Interaction Podcast, where I'll be doing one-on-one interviews with people from the world of professional wrestling, as well as stand-up comedy. You can get them anywhere podcasts are available in both video and audio form, but you can find them all at genejacksonpod.com.
If you're a fan of rock and music, I'd really appreciate it if you took a moment to check out my podcast. It's called the Decibel Geek Podcast. We've been doing it for about 10 years now. We talk about Kiss. We talk about Ozzy. We talk about Motley Crue and Guns N' Roses and Metallica. We talk about all the legends from the 60s and on, up to brand new bands that you should be hearing about today that you're not going to hear on the radio. It's Decibel Geek. Wherever you find your podcasts, you'll find us there. If you love rock and roll, I can almost guarantee you're going to love my show.
So that was another great episode. Hey, Wolfie, tell them where they can find you on social media.
Jimmy, they can find me in the club, bottle full of bub. I'm just kidding. They can find me on Facebook. My personal page is Warren Wolf, WOLFE. I'm on Instagram at WarrenWolf13.
You can always find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at Live Wolfie D. Here's the thing. Wolfie always has offers for his autographed photos. He has a selection of some awesome photos from throughout his career that he will autograph and personalize any way that you want him to. Just contact him either directly at his personal Facebook page or through any one of our other pages, and we'll make sure you get in contact directly with Wolfie. Get those photos, right, Wolfie?
Yeah, I've got some good stuff on there, to help with the podcast.
Folks, if you can't get out to a show to meet Wolfie D, there's nothing like that, especially for the fans of PG-13 and Wolfie D. And before we go, you can always find me, your host, Jimmy Street, at James Rock Street on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube.
And hey, Jimmy, before we go real quick, I just want to add in there, from the bottom of my heart, I really appreciate, first of all, the work you've done for this podcast. You have worked your butt off. Secondly, the people that are liking the page. Beyond that, even more, is the people that are listening, and we really appreciate that.
Yeah, and remember, guys, the podcast drops a new episode every Monday at noon, and our past episodes are streaming now on demand on all major podcast formats. Thanks again.
I got a cap for your dome. He got a cap for your dome. I got a cap for your dome. He got a cap for your dome. He got a cap for your dome.
And here we go. The original white boy that came out sagging, not bragging, don't be hating, cause I'm spitting the truth. Still livin' in color, from rush your mother, utilize a hubcap, unlike any other. Back in the day, I was NOD, and I was P to the G, plus the 1 and the 3. In case you forgot, they call me Wolfie D. Been cloned and copied so many times, tired of suckers taking credit for what is mine. You know who you are without me name dropping. Wrestling's first white boy coming out hip-hopping. Been doing it like this since 92. Laid low for a while and you thought I was through. Listen real close to these rhymes that I've injected. This shit's so sick it makes your ears get infected. Mad skills, no faking, there is no one great. Cause I'm bringing more folks than Obi-Wan or Vader. Not here to play games, so you better beware. You don't like me, so what? I really don't care. Like time I keep ticking and I can't be stopped. You sucker step to the side unless you wanna get dropped. With my finish, I'll straight knock you out. Please allow me to tell you what it's all about. I'm gonna wind it up, then I'm driving it home. It's Wolfie D, baby. I got a cap for your dome. I got a cap for your dome.
He got a cap for your dome. He got a cap for your dome.
This has been a James Rock Street production.